Well, so right now I'm here with Dimitri, and we'll be talking about guitar. We'll be talking about career-wise and maybe favorite chocolate chip cookie, yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Something pretty important, right? So, well, thank you very much for being here, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Dimitri is with Schechter, also am I believe. So, well, he's a sick player. The first time I knew about you, it was through Rings of Saturn.
Yeah.
That last record that you guys that you worked in, and then on your on your soon after project, right? So,
Yeah.
uh, how long have you been playing?
So I'm 26 now. I got a guitar when I was 10, but I didn't really play a whole lot until maybe I was like 15 when I started like really playing a lot. So like off and on for like well, right about 16 years now. Yeah, because I was like 10, almost 11. I'm 26, almost 27 now. So off and on for about 15, 16 years. But the past like I would say about 10 years I've been playing like a lot. So yeah, that
Like
was
fully focusing?
yeah. When I was like 16, 17, like 17 for sure, that was it, man. That was like all I was doing. Even a little bit before that, but about that age was when I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna like try to do this.
Well, it has worked out so far.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, yeah. Do you do this? Is pretty much everything you do. That's your guitar. Your guitar life is pretty much what you do, right?
Yep, that's it, man. I just do that. I do session work, and now like with the signature guitar, little things from that, or like you know royalties from records and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it. I teach and like touring and tour. Not this year or last year, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's it, man. Just doing this.
that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. At the very beginning, when you were starting on your guitar journey, let's say,
Yep.
what was the thing that kept you going after the guitar, like kept you grabbing it again and then again, 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 and not falling behind?
Dude, that's a good. People have. No one's asking that. That's a good question. Um, what really like did it, I think, was when I started getting into like Children of Bodom was like a big band I really like fell in love with, and just kind of like the neoclassical like shredding stuff. I got like really interested. Like I wanted to be able to like shred, and then I started learning like music theory, and then like putting that onto the guitar. I was like, whoa, like this is so cool. And that was like really, I think, between those two things, like getting into like playing and like wanting to get better and seeing these guitar players, like that's so sick. Like I want to do that. That grabbed me at first, and I started learning theory, and then like the combination of those two things, I just like really got sucked in and stopped hanging out with my friends. Like broke up with my girlfriend and just like played guitar.
Yeah.
That's like all I did. And I like
Okay.
I just like ditching school constantly, just like stay home and play guitar. That's it, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure that you're talking about the shrapnel era of guitar players, right? She was a little more like the entire neoclassical. It was pretty much around the shrapnel. Tony McAlpine, Vinnie Moore, obviously Jason Becker, right?
Yeah, I mean that kind of. I was more into like some of the modern dudes like Jeff Loomis, Alexi Leo, Uwe. I mean he's not like new, but I like he was new to me.
Yeah.
That who else? Like Guthrie Govan, another dude who's been playing forever. Um, who else was like a huge like some of the Arch Enemy dudes like Michael and the other guy. But yeah, it was like the newer stuff that really grabbed me, I think. And then there's always like obviously like the classic players that like everyone knows of, like Paul Gilbert, Steve Vai, that kind of stuff. But it was like the newer dudes. Like Children of Bodom was like the thing that like sent me into it. I was like, whoa, I want to play guitar like that. You know?
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty great. That's pretty great. Let me ask you something. How that feeling has evolved? Do you feel the same way about that music itself? Does it really keeps you going sometimes? Because I don't know, this happens to me a lot, right? And I mean a lot. But sometimes I need to, I don't know, I need to excavate on the things that kept me going on the guitar, just to find love, like re reestablish my love for the instrument because
Oh
I
yeah.
get surrounding more on the business kind of thing that you have to do lessons, you have to pay rent, you have to do this and do that, and it sucks the love out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Um, but I mean, I enjoy a lot of that stuff. It can get total like fucking pain in the ass, honestly. But it's fun, and I find a good time doing that, and like managing something like whether it's my time or like in order like efficiently getting things done and getting them done right. That's something I find fun in. Kind of weird, but like I do enjoy that. But also, the other side of that is like guitar does take the back seat, and like having that love where like I think back to being like 18 years old, and that's like all I wanted to do. I want to play guitar constantly. It's like I don't feel like that most of the time now. So like what you said, doing like some excavation of like the things that put me there. I will listen to like older Bodum records or like different bands that I really liked. A lot of like the European stuff like Entrevista, Winter Sun, Nightwish, stuff like that. That like things that really like in my youth and like hardest hitting point of guitar playing when I was like learning. I'll go back and do that to like find some inspiration again. Because yeah, it's really easy to get wrapped up in like the business side or just like having a life, doing other like there's other things I like doing too, like I like going to the beach, I like playing video games, I like hanging out with friends, like there's so many other things I want to do that pull away from guitar, and I think I spent enough time isolated playing guitar in my youth, and I think I need to have like a balanced life now. I don't think it's good for me to like just like play guitar because like as I get do that and I'm spending all my time doing that, everything else is like falling apart now it's like it's just like I'm catching up either way, so finding a balance is like really important for me.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's really nice to hear that because that's I can say that pretty much we're on the same point based on that, like that wise, right? Because at the very beginning of when I was starting to play, I was so into just playing guitar, just playing and playing and playing. Just I didn't hang out with anyone, just like a couple of friends that they used to play guitar, and you were just like, and I was just like, yeah, I want to play like I don't know, man. I want to play like Kirk Hammett, yeah, and I want to play like Alex Skolnick and that kind of thing, and I need to focus and everything. So I was like a horse, right? Just just viewing what it was in front of me, not what it was surrounding me, right? And
Yeah.
right now, if you do that, you suddenly can become depressed.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
there's no
it's
social
important.
interactions and then that kind of thing.
Yeah, you need that, man, as a person. I think so. And having a balance is good. And I mean, it's been tougher like this year, with like touring being a thing normally. Like, you can go out and tour and do your thing, come home, hang out, kind of take a break, maybe write some music, something like that. And then you're like back out. Now it's like this whole thing where it's like I have to like make videos, I have to constantly teach, like I have to do all these things, and it makes it like harder to balance that because like the balance of like on tour, like working on stuff, like just fucking doing your job basically, and then coming home and it's kind of like break time, and then you go
Yeah.
back and forth, and like that feels balanced to me. So like this being home thing has been tough to find a balance, and it's like been a thing where it's almost like putting you to the point of like burnout, where you're like shooting videos constantly, teaching so much. You're like all I'm doing is like I wake up, I go in my the music room,
Yeah.
and I just do this all day, and then I go to sleep. And you're like, do I even like this anymore? And then like when you start thinking that, it's like, okay, you need to take a break because yes, you do, and you're gonna lose your shit if you don't.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, believe me. Yeah.
You know?
Hold my word out of that. Yeah, because sometimes you get to feel like you just let's say like you were sleeping in here, you just wake up and then just sit down, play guitar and then just fall down again, and that's pretty much every day. Sometimes you just lose track of the days, but which is worse, you can lose track of yourself, right? So
Yeah.
there has
Yeah.
to be there has to be a deeper balance. Well, pretty much, I'm pretty sure everyone can learn about it on Karate Kid and that kind of shit. So, like finding a balance and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But about your beginnings, right? You were really into like Children of Bottom, Jeff Loomis, and is there any guitar player that I know that this has been said like so much, and that's pretty much something that people say just because they want to say it. But is there any point on your guitar playing life that you heard a guitar player and you thought, man, I'm just blown away. This is the most intense thing, and that feeling hasn't gone away, and you still feel like that out of that guitar player itself.
Yeah, there's been a couple people for different reasons. You know, again, like chilling the boat and like hearing all the stuff, like you know, Lexi and that whole group wrote. Like that stuff musically to me, I'm just like, dude, this is like so good. You know, like that kind of thing. There's other bands too. You know, like tons of like more like progressive bands that I get that same thing where it's like, dude, how do they do this? You know, like protest the hero or like
Yeah.
the being buried me. It's just like I don't get it. You know, like I don't get how someone does that. But like as far as like guitar playing goes specifically, there's a few other people. One dude I haven't mentioned yet was Rick Graham. That guy is insane. Every time I watch that guy play guitar, I'm just like, I will never be able to do that. You know,
Man,
that guy's just insane. He's just like ripping. He's just so smooth and fluid. So
yeah, everything is perfect, and it's pretty aggressive, a huge control. Yeah, he's such an amazing guy.
Yeah, there's other dudes too. I mean, there's just like a list of people. Wes Howe, I mean, God. There's this guy on Instagram I follow, Keith Whalen. That dude's insane. You know, there's so many people that every time I see a video pop up, I'm like, fuck. You know, I watch him and it's like, God, man, I wish.
Yeah, it happens to me. That actually happens to me on your videos as well. So
thank you,
yeah,
man.
come on.
I appreciate that. That's awesome.
You gotta be kidding, man.
I try, man. Some of them are cool. Sometimes it's like, I'm just gonna put it out, see what happens.
Yeah, but they're always sounding great. I'm really focused on the lighting and then the entire design of your videos and pretty much image all around, and it's pretty neat, man. It's pretty neat. Also,
yeah, I wanted to step it up. I mean, I've been doing like cell phone videos for so long and just like really not like the highest quality. It was like, dude, this is like my job. Like, I need to step it up. So I got like, did my research, got a camera that would work really well for what I do. Got a different lens for it. Got the backdrop. Just like trying to up the production quality because, dude, everyone's videos, like even if they're like horrible at guitar, like it doesn't matter. You know, like, so many people just have like great videos. You watch it, it's like, God, I love watching this. This is nice. This is fun to watch. You know, and that's a huge aspect too, because if you have like some shitty, you know, angle, like, you know, cell phone thing, like it's just like bad. It makes you not want to watch it. It's like, what the hell's going on here? You know, you got like smudge on the camera. It's just like, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, you have to level your game up.
And I mean that kind of almost puts it in like a whole nother situation too, because now it's not just like, oh yeah, I'll just take a little video. Let me prop my phone up here. You know, it's like a whole event now. It's like, let me get the lights. Let me set up the camera. Let me make sure the backdrop's not wrinkled. Let me do like this whole laundry list of shit. I get that done. I'm not warmed up anymore. And now it's like, okay, now I have to get a take that's like usable. And it's a whole event. So that kind of almost like makes it more difficult, which is kind of why, you know, being a guitar player, we're lucky. You know, think about like a drummer, got to go somewhere, got to set up, got to do all the stuff. You know, we have it so easy, and it's like still easy to be lazy, where it's like, oh, I have to set my camera up. I can't believe this. And it's like, really, it's so easy, you know. But you know, just like
get over yourself, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I know it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's like, how lazy can I get, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It happens to me. And at the very beginning, when I was shooting videos and trying to see whatever it will work, they were pretty crappy, like pretty crappy videos. And
learning curve for sure, man. Like getting good at it and the process, and like even editing. You could like film a nice video and edit it poorly, and it's horrible.
That's right, and you have to learn about color correction, skin tone, and that kind of stuff.
I just learned a new color correction thing like 3 days ago when we shot that breakthrough for Drift. I learned a new color correction thing that I wish I knew like 3 years ago. Because I put out so many videos where I'm like super red or like purple and like yeah, it just never stops, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that really sucks a lot. And let me ask you, what was your first endorsement and how that feel to you?
What was the first one? The first one ever, I think, was actually, I think it was a vape company, dude, for like vape juice.
Okay, that's
solid. That was like, that wasn't a musical one, but I think that was the first company that like sent me things and just wanted me to like post about it in return. But the first like full endorsement I got, where it was like gear related, I think I'm pretty sure it was Schecter, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first like full endorsement where it wasn't like, oh, we'll give you like 20% off, or something like 30%, whatever. Like the first like full on, like yes, you can have this.
Yeah, here's your stuff.
Yeah, it was Schecter. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now you have your signature guitar. How do you feel about it?
I feel good, man. I got a couple sitting right here. I have two of them, and I got a couple prototypes back there, and I'm happy with it, man. I'll just say, yeah. There's another model coming out soon. There's actually two models coming out soon, and people probably know what they are. I play a lot of 7-string stuff, so you can guess. But
okay, yeah.
When that'll be ready for people that aren't me, I don't know. But overall, dude, I love it, man. Both of them, they're all going to be the same, like a 67 as well. But I love this guitar, man. And like the idea was when I started playing on the blue ones, the super shredders. I hadn't had like a Strat-shaped guitar in so long, and when I played it, I was like, dude, this is like so comfortable. I love this, And so I love the guitars, man. I'm like really happy with how they turned out. And it's like
that's really cool. Do you have the idea? Once you tried the Sun Valley Super Shredders, or it was pretty much before?
It's pretty much immediate, yeah.
Yeah, this is what I want for my guitar.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like bring it up to them, but it got discussed a few times off and on. And then, like a year later, I brought it up again, and the president was like, "Yeah, let's do it, Michael." And I was like, "Okay." And then we got the specs put together, got the prototypes in, and here we are.
Okay, what's the big?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. I have two questions. One is about the guitar itself. The first one is, what is the main difference between the Sun Valley and yours? Feel wise, because numbers, they're just there on the website. But how do you feel with your guitar against a Sun Valley Super Shredder?
Well, they feel pretty similar, man, but a lot of it's like the parts in the wood. So the body on my signature models is Swamp Ash. The Super Shredders are mahogany. The necks are both maple. This one has the binding down the neck. This one has stainless steel frets as opposed to nickel, and it's a different fret shape as well.
Yeah.
One of the huge differences is the neck through construction. The Super Shredders are bolt-on.
Yeah.
And the Floyd Rose on these is a 1500 series instead of like the...
the one that they're using right now?
Yeah, on my signature model is the 1500 series, so that's like the high-end one. And one of the Super Shredders that comes stock, I think it's like a lower-end one. The pickups are different. The control layout's different as well. There's only a volume knob, there's no tone knob, and it's a 5-way switch instead of 3-way. And then the pickups are Seymour Duncan Pegasus Sentient instead of the EMG active hot rod ones, which are pretty cool. But I like the Seymour Duncans a lot more.
Okay. That's pretty great, man. Do you have locking tuners or just with the locking nut?
Just a locking nut. Yeah, no locking tuners. Even on like regular guitars, locking tuners, I still wind my strings the same. I don't like pull it through, lock it, and then tune it. I just like wind it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have guitars with locking tuners, and I just like do it that way anyways. Yeah, I don't.
Well, that's going against the grain. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I know. I mean, I do lock it, but I just wind it the same. So I don't know. I don't think it changes anything for when you wind it.
Yeah, whether you do it or not. Yeah. Let me ask you about always referring to your beginnings, and how do you feel right now with everything you have accomplished and everything that is getting set up and all the things that you have with yourself right now? How do you feel? Do you ever go back on the feeling when you were beginning, like when you were starting and thinking, "Wow, I'm living the life that I was dreaming of"? And if you do that, like, how do you feel about it?
I do that, yeah. I think about that, man. And I don't think about it maybe as much as I used to, but yeah, I'm like really lucky, man. Like I've worked really hard, and like I still work really hard, and there's a lot more work. There's probably more work ahead of me than there is behind me.
Yeah.
To do. There's probably so much more and like unforeseen things that I just don't even know I'm gonna have to go through yet. But I'm lucky, man. I'm really, really thankful. I remember like working at like Home Depot, and like all I wanted to do was like go home and play guitar. And now like I have so much time to play guitar that I don't play guitar. It's like what, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it's crazy. And like if you told me like everything that's happened so far would happen, if you told me that when I was like 16, I'd be like, no. But yeah, I'm lucky, man. There's a lot of people who work really hard and do, really put in the time and just like don't get the same luck, And I think it's a combination of like right time, right place, luck, and hard work. I'm lucky, and I'm still pretty young, So it's crazy. It's crazy. I never thought that any of this would be the way it is. I think I like just put myself in such a place where it was like there was no other option, that when like stuff started to happen, I was like, yes, okay, good. So, but thinking prior to that, like it's just mind blowing. So I don't know, man. Really, really lucky.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. I'm really happy to hear that because it does happen, and it happens around us that there's people like putting a lot of work and things just don't come out, right?
Yeah, it just happens, man. I think there's some reason for that, like in some cases, and in other cases, it's just like I don't know. I don't know why. Like this person just like stayed here and other people went up. It just fucking happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but that's just the nature of it, man. And I know I'm like full well knowing now, like things could be going great for me, and like 5 years from now, like everything could fall apart. Like I'm completely painfully aware of that. But I'm trying to do things to like prevent that from happening. Just like continuing to work hard, not getting lazy, and going out and when touring happens again, like hitting the road super hard and just like putting my best foot forward. Because as much as like the cool stuff's happened now, if it does, one day come to an end, I'll know that I tried my hardest, and I won't have any regret. Like I won't be like, dude, I wish I did this, or like I wish I worked harder. That's like the last thing that I ever want to like live with.
Yeah, like you left something inside of you, right?
Yeah.
Like that competitive feeling that you have inside of you against yourself, because at the very end, it is a race against yourself.
Yeah, that it is, man. It's just really like, how hard are you willing to push, and like how many uncomfortable situations are you willing to like endure? Maybe you're like really short on money, or you're not getting gigs, or like in this day and age, like your social media isn't doing well, which is like stupid as that sounds. It sounds like just fucking dumb. But like that is a factor. Like that's important, like
yeah, it is fundamental right now.
Like, yeah, social media like literally can make someone like famous and have like a life that they want to live, because people watch their videos and like will buy their things or like whatever, or like donate to them on a Twitch channel, like all of that, it's like you just have to work hard and try to pursue as many avenues as possible while maintaining like your vision. You don't want to like sell out and do something like corny, because it's not authentic, and I think a lot of that stuff yields like a short-lived success. You have to try to build something for like that has a future, not like right now, because you can only do like so many like right now things, for so long before like
it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. And then like you have like all these things you've done with like really the show for it, versus like this is it, like Interloper is it for me, like I'll do other like filling gigs, sure, but like as far as like my band and like like we got our dudes, Aaron, Andrew, and mine, this is our band, we're doing this, that's going to be the thing that hopefully sees a future.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it will, man. I'm pretty sure it will.
I hope so.
Yeah, but I was listening before. I was listening, trying to put some more listenings into your songs.
Well, thank you, man. Those are important today. In today's day and age, that's arguably more important than record sales. So.
Yeah, definitely. And let me ask you something about your guitar playing. Like,
right.
How's your schedule? Because, well, let me go ahead and build the question. In my case, I don't like do practice like on a schedule that I do. Okay, so I'm gonna do 45 minutes of chromaticisms and then scales, and then I'm gonna do 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna post my fingers being ripped on social media. and that kind of stuff. No, because that, that,
Yeah.
that that's a person. That's a person that I'm talking.
Yep.
Eh,
That's absolutely that's many people. Yeah,
yeah,
I see that.
and that you have to practice the shapes, and then you have to practice the modes, and then you have to be okay. So right now I'm doing alternate picking, then I'm doing string skipping, then so many p and k words at the same time, and that it gets pretty confusing. So, well, my question is, how do you? That's kind of weird, but I took it from a Pat Martino interview. That how do you communicate with your instrument? How do you feel with it? Do you still go practice, like, I don't know, like you were trying to write the words like a b b b b, or you just play?
Nowadays, I usually just play and I'll like work on something. If I'm having a problem with like a certain lick, I'll look at like what technique that is, like what's the problem here, and I'll go like more specifically into like what I'm having an issue playing. As a whole, I don't usually just sit down and do like I'm gonna practice chromatic. I'm gonna do this. Like I do like warm up stuff to get my fingers going, but that's like not even practicing. That's like a warm up. You're like trying to get your hands moving so you can play or practice. And so occasionally I'll do that. Occasionally I'll have a day where I like just sit with the metronome. I'm like, I want to play really fast today, and like build my speed up. But that's like lost its luster for me. I'm not like it's not really fun. So I'll try to like write something or like play songs that I know, like Interloper stuff, and learn something, learn a song, learn a solo from a band. Like I do that for fun, and that's pretty much like what I do now. And then if the day goes well, I'll play for like 4 or 5 hours, and that's cool. But
Okay,
outside
how
of
long?
that, mhm.
Okay, how long do you play on an average day? Maybe 2 hours, 1 hour, something like that. Well, besides teaching, because guitar teaching, it isn't like actually playing,
Not
because
at all.
it's not like, okay, so you do this and then right.
Yeah. Yep.
No, you really have to put an effort on what they're doing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say if I don't have lessons or anything, if I have like a full day of lessons, like I'm done playing after. I'm like, I don't want to most of the time. But if I have a good day of playing, probably 3 or 4 or 5 hours, but average throughout the week. I mean, some days I don't play. I try not to take more than one day off though, because that's like my playing starts to get worse and worse. And then I'm just like playing catch up. It's like, really good playing, catching up, really it's back and forth, and I hate it.
Yeah.
But probably like, I would say anywhere between like probably a little bit more than one, like 2 or 3 hours, I would say is like the average.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. And well, another question, and this is something that I'm going through right now. It ain't something like deep or meaningful. It's just like guitar playing question. And have you been like learning old stuff, the things that you used to know, like that you learned when you were at the very beginning, and you didn't actually remember how they were played and that kind of stuff, and then you relearn them and find a huge and broader beauty
Yeah, dude,
on
I've been relearning
how they
old
do.
stuff. I've been relearning old stuff like Children of Bodom or mostly them because it was just like, after in January when Alexi died, or I guess December, but when it was announced, I was like, man, I want to go back and learn like a bunch of their stuff because I've learned it. And I'm finding like new ways to play it. Most of it I don't even remember. Like I forget things like that I write like on a daily basis, and I go back into like my session and like, what was I playing? And like figure it
Yeah.
out. So like I forget like everything. I have like the worst memory with things like that. But yeah, I do that, and it's nice, and it gives you like a new appreciation for it, and it's something fun to do, especially if it's like a song you hear, and every time you hear, God, that's just like so sick, like you know how to play it, and you're like, oh, I'm so sick, like that kind of thing. You're like, I can do it too, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It feels good. Stuff that like maybe like I listened to a long time ago that I never learned, that it was like so far out of my reach of being able to play it. I was like, there's no way I can play that like 8 years ago, and now it's like I can play it really well, and that feels cool. It makes me like happy, and like you learn new techniques, and you see like you get an insight into like a player or like a writer's brain when you learn stuff like that, especially if there's like a weird technique or like fingerings or like a specific lick that's like odd, you get like, oh, I see what they like. I get it. You know, like that.
Now I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like the curtain has been like lifted. You're like, okay, this makes sense. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna mess it. I'm gonna push something back just a few minutes since we started late. Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Sorry. Let me find this.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't want to cut. Yeah, I had something for this. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, cool. There we go. Sorry.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, we're just like 7 minutes until the lesson is. Like that's not enough time. So,
okay.
Yeah, man, that's a really fun feeling, and especially like with theory now, knowing that. I mean, I've known that for a long time now, but things that like I listened to and never learned over the years, but just like knew, and then I play it, and it's like, oh, like that's cool, like that kind of progression or something. It's like I like that a lot,
Okay. Do you have any songs or any solos, guitar solos, and that kind of stuff that you always say? I don't know. I don't want to play I don't want to play them because I don't want to find the truth behind them. I just want to enjoy them. Like
no. Yeah, not really.
You are up to play whatever you hear, right? Like, let's say you're fun with this, and yeah, I'm gonna learn it.
Yeah, and I mean that's like kind of why I learned that. Like, if something makes me like feel that way, where it's like, oh, this is so magical, I don't want to know. Like that makes me want to know. That makes me want to know more than something like I think is like kind of cool. Like if something's like, oh, that sounds cool, like I'd rather not learn that, and I'd rather learn the thing that's like that's really sick. Yeah. That's how I feel about it, at least.
That's pretty great, man. That's pretty great. At the very beginning, were you always, well, you told me, right, that you wanted to shred, but at the very beginning, you always felt, I want to play fast, or I just want to make the guitar sound as whatever I needed to sound like, right? Because at the very beginning, we always are trying to learn songs and trying to see on our skills how we can develop different type of techniques or whatever, right? So, but where you were actually focused on, I have to shred out myself.
Yeah, kind of, but that wasn't something that like surpassed me wanting to like learn the instrument though. I see some people who just like learn to shred and like can't do anything else, or there's like really crucial aspects of like musicianship that are gone, whether it's like rhythm, which is something like I struggled with, and like I have like poor rhythm, so I have to work at that. Like that's like something that's ongoing because I'm not like a metronome like inside of me kind of guy. It's very much like accounting and like learning to feel things that for some is easy to feel, and those were things that like I felt were important and like really learned relatively early on, probably like a ways into the playing, but it wasn't something I just bypassed and ignored and was like comfortable with shredding. So like I wanted to have like a more rounded understanding of like how to do things, but the playing fast and like the technical stuff was definitely like high up on the list of something I thought it was just like I thought it was cool. I was like, that's so sick, someone can do that, and I wanted to be able to do that too.
That's great, man. That's great. Is there any record do you have on your recollection, like guitar record, right? Not like a band or something like that is still on you. You're always you always go back to it, or trying to rediscover things, or trying to work out new licks or new shapes or new songs that they're still there, right?
Like an instrumental record kind of thing?
Yeah, like a guitar player record.
Yeah, I mean, some of like the Bodum records were like that for me. Some of like their earlier stuff was very like guitar player. Some of the tech death bands I was into, like Obscura, a lot of that stuff's like really guitar. I mean, it's like a band, it's songs, but like it's really guitar oriented.
Yeah.
Another one, Christian from Obscura, he wasn't Obscura, put out a solo record a long time ago. That was sick. Guthrie Govan, his record, dude, I can't remember what the record's called.
Erotic Cakes?
Where is it? Yep, that one. Yeah, I listened to that record probably like 100 times. You know, that one's something I haven't gone back to that one in a while, but that was definitely one of them where it was just like, you know, you hear it and you're like, what? Um, yeah, and then maybe some of the Luma stuff for sure. That was cool stuff. Um, I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head, man, that are like guitar records. You know, like a guitar record. So,
Yeah, like a fully fledged guitar record. Yeah.
yeah, not so much. I can't. I think my enjoyment of like that instrumental music was relatively short-lived. It was like a couple year period where it's like it was all about guitars and all of that, and then I became a lot more about like I still think guitar's sick and guitar-oriented music's really cool, you know. But like a song, you know, and that's something I've learned over the years, and especially like with Interloper and writing with Andrew. You know, the song is always going to be number one. So as cool as it is to like riff on guitar and do something badass, like there's a lot of times where it really doesn't fit, you know?
Exactly.
That's
Well,
like, yeah, that's like totally where my brain's shifted to, man. I'm like really in that like train of thought, you know, and that like way of thinking about music now. So it's like, I hear stuff now that's like guitar music, and like it's cool, but it doesn't stick with me like a sick song does, where it's just like, God, that was like such a, I want to hear it again, you know? It's different now. My taste has definitely changed.
Okay, well, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, and I'm pretty much with you with that. I really believe that you have to establish a storytelling. You know? And some things it just doesn't fit, man.
Yeah.
What would you do like 17 arpeggios when a couple of bands will do, right?
Dude, yeah, that's definitely been a place in my guitar playing that the past few years has like developed significantly. Is like my bending and like my vibrato. Those are things that I've like really paid a lot of attention to.
Yeah. Would you consider that?
Very glad that I did.
Yeah. Would you consider that's like I don't know how it's put on English, but Achilles tendon, right? I don't know if that's how you call it. Like a weak spot. Do you feel like well, let me refresh the question. Do you feel like vibrato and bends are, in my opinion, are pretty much one of the toughest things to get, right? Like one of the hardest skills that you can learn and develop. How do you feel about them, right?
Dude, yeah, I think that's something. So that's something that really has to happen like in your brain, and you need to develop like a sense of like key and understanding like pitch. You know, you need to be able to have that because you know, with like a metronome or like shredding, like anyone can sit there and like learn to play fast. It's mechanical. It's a technique. You know, with the bends and vibrato, it's obviously a technique too, but there's more to it, and it takes more time to develop that. I think, you know, because it's a heard and felt thing. You know, it's something you can't just like put on. It's like, why does this guy's vibrato sound super sassy and cool and this guy's doesn't? It's because he's feeling it. You know, and that's something you can't just like sit with a metronome and do. You know, you need to take the time and learn. You need to sit there and do like the, you know, the technique part of it where it's like, and like being able to control that and that kind of thing is, I think, a huge thing. And I noticed, for example, when I was working on, when I first started like working on that, I didn't get like good at it quick. It was like, you know, 5-6 months, and I was like, I'm getting a little bit better, but over the course of like a year or two, I look back and it's like, whoa, okay, it happened, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's something that definitely takes time, and like you can see people who are more experienced on guitar because they're good at that. That's like a huge telltale when someone's got like really bad bends and vibrato. It's like they haven't taken the time, you know?
Exactly. It's like learning how to breathe throughout the guitar. Yeah. One of the, in my opinion, one of the hugest like milestones or benchmarks on guitar bends vibrato maybe will be No More Tears by Zach Wild. Like being able to feel every step of the way, right, and that kind of thing, and I feel that's something that it's by some reason is falling behind out of well, maybe it has always been like that, but right now I'm seeing it with my students and people surrounding me that nobody's putting that much effort on listening how they play guitar while they're playing.
Yep. It's very it's approached like in Guitar Hero. Did you miss any notes? You know, like that. It's like it's very like calculated, you know, versus like felt. You know, like playing notes that are out of key and making them sound in key or bending into key from notes that are out. Like that takes time. You know, like that's not just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, it's not like that. It's like you got to make this sound good, and you're going to sound like an idiot for a long time doing it until you can. You know,
Exactly.
like you could be able to play like the same couple notes one way and like do that fairly quickly, but can you like play those notes coming from a place that's out of key and make it sound good? That's like the serious stuff, in my opinion.
Like putting in key, man. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Or like taking even like something I've been doing a lot. If you have like, say like you're in like. You know, making all those new like.
Yeah, swagging it up.
Completely out, yeah. You know, like that shit, like playing every note that's out of key and making it sound cool. You know, that's tight. I like that a lot.
That's really
cool, that's my thought on
cool.
the bends and vibrato, man. I mean, I'm just like, I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over at this point. It's like, it's important. It takes forever to get good at, and it's important. It takes forever to get at. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I got every point written down. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what can you tell me about the record? Do you have anything like pretty much new, based on what you were guys doing before?
Yeah, this record's like a lot different. Like, you know, the first singles we put out, I was like 17, you know, almost 10 years ago. And so that's like changed a lot. My writing style's changed a lot. You know, Andrew's writing a lot too. His style is a lot different than mine. And then we have teams that we came together and like wrote together. The production, way higher quality than, you know, anything else we put out. And it's just like, it's just new music, man. Like even the EP we put out earlier this year, like that music was old, dude. That's like, I wouldn't write music like that anymore. You know, Andrew probably wouldn't either. And so this is just like, we really went through the process of like, you know, member changes, writing songs that were like over here, writing songs that were over here. And then like, now we're like in here where it's like, this is what we sound like as a band. And really just like, we found our sound on this record, man. And it's, you know, every band's like, oh, we're better, faster, stronger, sounds more unique. Like every band fucking says that. But, you know, being a new band, I can say like safely, like this really is like, we found ourselves, you know, we were like in a formative process for a while. And we really just came together and we wrote these songs that are songs, man. There's like cool guitar playing, there's cool drums, you know, there's like cool vocal parts, you know, but these songs are like memorable, you know, is the big thing. And since we had so much time to put this record together because so many things were delayed, we had, you know, the contract, getting that all done took, you know, the better part of a year. And then we were going to put music out, and then COVID happened. And then, you know, like here we are, like, you know, a year later over, and we just put something out. So we had a lot of time to really, like, trim the fat and just put the best material together. There isn't, like, a single song on the record that isn't, like, sick. And that's something that's really cool. You know, and again, that's, like, another copy-paste thing that every band says, but, like, I feel really confidently in that. It's like every single song front to back I listen to, I'm like, this is such a good song. And then the next one comes on, I'm like, I fucking love this song too. You know? Like,
so the record is finished already?
Oh, dude, yeah. The first single that came out, we have another single coming out within 2 sleeps, so really soon. And by the time this is out, I'm sure it'll already be outside. I don't care what I'm saying now. Yeah, we have another song coming out on Friday. And then another single after that, and then one more, and the whole record's out on June 11th. So, yeah, it's already done, man. We've already started writing for the next record too. We have like a couple songs that are pretty complete, and then like the skeletons of, you know, like totally like 7 songs. You know, we have, you know, the better part of another full length, like, you know, written.
Oh, okay, that's pretty amazing, man. That's pretty amazing. I have a question. How do you go about? I don't know. This is like the most cliche question, I guess, on everyone that does any kind of music. But how do you go about your writing procedure? Do you have, well, let me ask you, do you have like a writing procedure, or you just trying to match up whatever makes sense with it and then just try to compare with the other guy's ideas and try and see what you feel like playing?
Yeah, I mean, for the band, Andrew will write songs. I'll put songs together too, and like we'll bring them to the table, you know, like instrumentally completed, you know, loosely. So it's like here's like the whole idea. Sometimes, you know, I'll come together and like I got this riff, and then we like work on it, and then we turn it into a song. You know, so it just depends. But for like me personally, man, it's all about like it's not like calculated, but it's about like chord progressions. You know, I have like an idea. Here's this chord progression. I like, what can I like turn this into? You know, and how can I manipulate this like throughout the song? You know, how can I make this into a recurring theme that has this memorable thing that you'll like hear throughout the song in different ways? And you know, trying to have like different dynamic. It's like this part's up here, this part's down here. There's a bunch of different approaches. Sometimes you have like just a melody, and then you turn that into a part. And it's like, okay, what will come after here? And then you start thinking like, huh, okay, I don't have any ideas, and maybe I'll go, okay, well, this is in this key. I know I like to have different sections kind of in different areas of the key. So maybe the first part's like based around Aeolian, the next part's based around Lydian. You know, so there's motion. So there's like thought that goes into it. Sometimes it just kind of comes out and it's like it's a riff. But it just depends, man. It's different for every tune, but more or less for me, the majority of the time it's based around like a chord progression. And that chord progression might only be present in one part of the song. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, but you have like a chord progression, right?
Yeah, I have like the unfortunate thing of writing like choruses first, so I tend to like write the biggest part of the song, and that kind of sucks because it's like you wrote the biggest part, and you're like, okay, now I have to write something like lower. You know, it's easier every time I've written a song that starts with like not that. It gets written really quick. But if I write something and it's like, God damn, it sounds like a chorus, I'm like, again, you know, that's just how I think that's like based off a lot of like European music I listen to, you know, like the Euro bands, you know, that stuff. It's like, it's like this big like layered part, and then that just like inherently becomes like this sick like chorus idea, you know, so it just depends now.
That's really great, man. That's really great. How do you feel? Do you still use like hardware equipment, or are you going right now just for the sake of simplicity, just going through plugins? And what do you use on your daily basis? Not on tour, not on videos or something.
It's the same thing, man. I use Axe Effects.
Okay.
I've got my rig here. Let's see. You know, just Axe Effects, and then I go into this interface, and then I go into Reaper, man, and that's it. And that's how I like track everything. If I have an idea, I'll do it. I don't use like Guitar Pro to tab anything out anymore. Like the art record, the entire Interloper record isn't even tabbed at all. It's just like.
Okay.
It's just
Are you pretty good at tabbing?
Oh yeah, definitely. But I just don't I don't tab anything out anymore. I just record it. And that's like definitely become a better way to like hear songs out, and I could add synth parts and like, you know, real sounding drums and, you know, bass plug-in. Like you get a lot bigger and clearer picture and like idea for what like this part will sound like versus like doing Guitar Pro. It's such like a one-dimensional thing. I really like moved away from that.
That's pretty great, man. That's pretty great. About the Guitar Pro kind of stuff, yeah, I'm not really good at it, but I know that's something that at the long run, maybe if you're a guitar player, it really helps a lot. Maybe you launch a record and then you sell the PDF with the tabs and that kind of stuff. And
Oh
you get
yeah,
people
that kind
around.
of stuff's sick. I think that's cool, and I mean, Andrew and I will probably end up doing that for this record. We haven't done it yet, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to doing that, but it'll be cool. And I can tap quick. It's like it's not hard. It's just time consuming. Like I know, like my rhythmic dictation and like, you know, being able to tap things out quick is fairly good. So it's not like a pain in the ass to do. It's just like it's gonna sit there. Okay, next bar. Okay, next bar, and then like, hang on, was that right? You know, like just double checking stuff, making sure there's not an error. I mean, especially if it's like something we would sell. Like I don't feel good selling things that aren't like sick. I'm like not one of those people. I can't do it. I feel like bad, you know. I don't want to sell something that's like shitty literally ever. So,
Yeah.
it would just be like on my end being really thorough is like going to be the pain in the ass part for it. So
That's great. It's really cool. I had a question on my mind and it flipped away.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just growing older and not wiser. Well, let me go ahead and ask you something really really important. If you had to choose like a chocolate chip cookie, do you like chocolate chip cookies?
There it is. I've been waiting.
Yeah, I've been waiting my entire life.
Yep.
Do you like chocolate chip cookies?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because there are some people that it seems that they don't like it. Maybe they don't get.
I like them.
Can't stand happiness or something.
Yeah, they like being upset. I mean, dude, I like chocolate chip cookies, but what I like a lot are those white chocolate ones. And it's like,
Okay.
I don't know if it's a sugar cookie. It's like white chocolate and macadamia nut or something. That shit is so good, dude. I love that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty fancy, man. That's pretty fancy. Sorry to break this to you, mate, but white chocolate is pretty much grease and sugar.
I love grease. I love sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. No shame, dude. I don't feel bad at all.
Okay, so what will be the cookie? This is a two-part. This is a two-part question, and both parts are pretty stupid. So, which cookie do you think that defines you the most at the supermarket? Because if you start talking about like a really fancy or really underground kind of cookie, people can't relate, right? So we have to be more reliable. Don't go as far as maybe great value kind of stuff. No, because we ain't that trashy maybe. But what cookie would you think that it will define you as a guitar player? Yeah, let's go for that one first.
Probably like a sugar cookie.
Like a white chocolate macadamia.
Dude, if you could put white chocolate in the sugar cookie, by all means, please. Yes, that would be a very good white chocolate sugar cookie. I don't know if that's too fancy.
Okay. There's a thing called sugar cookie. Is it like a cookie that has sugar on top of it?
No, it's like a different. I don't even fucking know. I don't know. It's just like a cookie. It's just a good.
Come on, man. It's you.
Yeah.
It's you we're talking about.
Okay, since I don't know what the sugar cookie's made up of, side of sugar and cookie.
Okay. Yeah, it has both ingredients on the name. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one of those cookies that's like a chocolate cookie with the M&Ms on it.
Wow, that's pretty nice. Pretty.
Yeah, you can get those at the
Pretty
store.
upbeat. Yeah. Oh, you can get the Dimitri Miles cookie at the store.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would love to have my own cookie. That'd be cool.
D&M cookies. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, and the other question, if you have to choose a cookie for you to take, and this is kind of difficult, man, and I don't know if you wanna.
I don't know why. This is hard. This is like the hardest question in the whole interview. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Well, trying to save the best for the last. Let's say you have to choose a cookie that it will, besides define you as a person, because for some reason, whatever you eat, people define you as. Every time I go to a different country, they always take me to eat wings. That I love wings. I'm not one to say no to chicken wings, but come on, man. Maybe on a week outside of Guatemala, which I'm living at right now, maybe they take me for 4 or 5 times to eat wings, and they're really excited and they're more hyped about the wings because once I said that I like wings, so now everything in my life is surrounded by chicken wings. So this will define you, man. Going back to the cookie.
All right.
It's a cookie that you will have to eat 3 or 4 of them after every mealtime for your entire life, every single day.
Oh my god. Okay, well, the cookies are going to be small, that's for sure. So we've already narrowed down the size. I know this. Maybe a peanut butter cookie.
Peanut butter cookie?
Yes.
That's pretty tasty. That's pretty tasty.
Yeah, they have to be soft though. They have to be still warm and like just out of the oven. Because there's nothing more I hate than a fucking hard cookie. I hate that.
Oh, okay.
Soft,
Okay.
soft, maybe undercooked.
Yeah, I better write this down.
Yeah, undercooked, still warm and small.
Oh, okay. So it will be 4 cookies. Or I don't know if it was 4 or 3, but it will be three or 4 cookies after every meal. How many times do you eat a day? Do you eat like 3 times, or do you eat
Once
like
or twice?
Yeah, like whenever you remember, like
Yeah, it's usually 1 or 2 times. Usually not more than that. Unless I get really drunk at night, I'll eat a 3rd time.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Drunk
That's
before I go
charming.
to bed. Yeah, you're like, I need something. I know that what I need right now, outside of all the alcohol in my body, is to eat and then lay down right after.
What do you eat? What do you eat right after? What do you feel like eating the most of the times? Do you have like a safe food, or do you have like, okay, I'm just go with whatever there is?
Oh,
and
dude, yeah. I am
to
like
my consequences.
not a picky eater at all. I'll eat anything, man. Yeah.
Aside from cookies being soft, small.
Yeah. Aside from a hard cookie, I won't eat a hard cookie.
Okay.
Unless there's milk and you can make it soft by putting it in milk. Maybe.
Okay, so what kind of milk would you choose? Because right now there's so many milks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the regular, just like whole milk.
Ah,
Yeah, almost cream, but not quite there.
yeah, pretty old school, man. Pretty old school.
Yeah,
that's
dude, yeah.
that's like a Marshall, like a Les Paul and a Marshall or something like that.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, I'm not trying to go all Strandberg and have like this vegan soy milk. I want regular milk.
Yeah, I don't know when I was seeing like right now there's like an oatmeal milk, but
Yeah.
some nutritionists they say that is not milk due to the construction and everything, like molecular kind of thing, because they always try and throw those words just to distract you from the fact that everything is fake, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong though. You know, I do like almond milk a lot, and I've had there was one other milk I had that was really good. And it's different. You know, it's a totally different texture. I forgot it. Almond milk and then
milk.
yeah. I like
Cow
I
milk.
like- yeah, I'll go with regular milk any day. You know. But
Okay.
For sure, man.
Okay. One last question about milk.
Yeah.
Just for you to feel one more time uncomfortable. Don't you think that whenever you drink a glass or maybe a sip or whatever you do with the almond milk, that doesn't taste like nothing, it's like water, but at the very end it gives you the feeling like you just ate almonds, because the milk, it doesn't taste like almonds, but it does left the taste.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, totally. It's kind of like skim milk, dude. It's like drinking skim milk. It's like really watery and thin, but at the end, yeah, there's the taste. It's like this very like sweet taste.
Like a river kind of thing.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different milk experience than normal milk.
Oh, okay. Well, great way to put it, man. Yeah.
It's like regular milk, but it's different.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty sweet words.
Yeah, really descriptive. It's like regular milk, just different. Yeah, I feel like if I said that to someone, they would learn close to nothing. But
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that will go for a publicitary advert or something like that. Like milk, but different.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Yeah.
Okay, man. So, well, that was pretty much my entire repertoire of nonsense.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have a real stupid question, but this is very important, man. And it won't define you as anything, and it won't go as long as anything as well. But if you were driving a vehicle at the speed of light, and you turn the lights on, will they do anything?
Probably. Yeah. It's light. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I would think so. I feel like if I have a light and I'm going the speed of light, that's the same thing. I don't know.
I remember once a chick told me, the guy behind me will see it. And I was like, come on, you're at the speed of light. It's not like someone is blinking the lights out of you, so you move out, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think you would see it.
Yeah, okay, okay.
I think the car
Well,
I'm in would probably explode, but yeah.
the car will explode. Well, would you be able to see the explosion if it's at a speed of light?
I would hope not. I don't want to be in an explosion. I hope I would just die. I don't want to feel the explosion or see it. I just want it to be over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the skin will be ripped out of your limbs. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably it would be bad. Yeah, that's my
Well,
answer.
man, but that was a pretty good answer. And well, the actual answer itself is no. They won't do anything. They will
Oh,
turn on. They will be able to turn on because electricity is something aside from light. But the speed of light that you are traveling at, it will banish the effect of reflection because the only perception that we had of light is what we're able to see reflecting on other bodies. But if you're going at the same speed, it doesn't reflect in front of you.
oh, that makes sense. Huh? Interesting.
Well, next time
Yeah,
you're driving
I wouldn't
fast.
know that. Yeah, that's not my area. I know how to play guitar. That's about it.
Well,
Yeah,
you do know a lot about milk, and I'm really compelled about it.
yeah. Regular milk is different.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Just one quick question about guitar playing, and maybe somebody wants to know what strings do you use? Do you use Elixir strings? Do you use
Yeah,
like a specific size of strings, or do you
yeah,
use polyweb, nanoweb, or optiweb?
yeah. Elixir nanowebs, 9 to 46. I put a 52, or is it 9 to 40? I should know this. 9 to 46. Yeah, but I put a 52 on the low E, and I do that for E standard and E flat, and then occasionally I'll do that for D standard. It's kind of loose, but I'll do 10s for D standard usually.
Okay, 1052s or something like that.
Yeah, 10 to 52, I think. Yeah, or maybe I'll put a 56 on the D string. But maybe that's if I feel like it.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you very much, man. That's pretty much my last question. I really, once again, thank you a lot for your time. I really appreciate this, and you're an amazing guy with a huge amount of knowledge about how do you want your cookies, what cookie do you see as, and next time you're driving at the speed of light, don't try to turn the lights on.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me, man. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.